Hey guys, what's up? It's Stephanie and welcome back to my channel. So for the topic for today, I'm going to be talking about how to prepare for your class if you are in PA school before you start class. So how to prepare for your classes in PA school. So the key thing for being, I think, successful in PA school and what has helped out most of my classmates, myself, is preparing before class. Now, preparing before class, I can say that I did not do that when I was in undergraduate school. I did it for some classes, but it wasn't for every single my classes. Mind you, I was taking fewer classes than PA school, and the classes weren't as hard as PA school. So this was something that I learned while I was in PA school, and it's something that I stress a lot, is to prepare before your classes. So what I do usually is that, for example, on a Monday, which is the beginning of the week, I'll prepare for my classes Sunday, so the day before. So I'll usually read the information before. Most of my professors do upload their information, their PowerPoints, either that Sunday or that Saturday. So we're able to look over the information and prepare ourselves before going to lecture. Because if you go to a lecture and you're not prepared and it's the first time you hear that information, you're going to be lost. And I can say this specifically for pathophysiology, and anatomy is one of the big ones. Anatomy, definitely you have to make sure that you prepare yourself before lecture and that you're familiar with the information before you go to lecture. Or else, honestly, it'll be just a waste of time if you're in class, because you're going to be so lost, you're not going to know what's going on. And it's happened to me several times, sometimes specifically when I have exams or I have an exam coming up. Sometimes I won't prepare for my classes because I'm too busy studying for that exam. And so what happens is that while I'm in class, I'm just so lost with what the professor is saying. My classmates are answering questions and discussing answers with the professors back and forth, and I'm just so lost with the information. So that's why it's really, really important to prepare before class starts. So before every lecture. And I know it's really hard, specifically if you have, for example, on Monday, I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 classes on Monday, sometimes even 7 classes on certain days. So, it's really hard to prepare for sometimes all the classes, but it's really, really important to do so. That way you're not lost in the information and you don't hear it for the first time. Specifically, some of my professors do give us some quizzes before we start class to see whether we were prepared for class or not. So they also want to make sure that we are familiar with the information. So there was a term that one of my classmates came up with. It's called pregame. And basically, what do you do before a game? You prepare, right? So you're preparing for the game. So that's what we call pregame. And then once you're in class, it's when you're playing the game. So you're gaming. So you're going over the information second. And then once you get out of class, then you post-game. So pregame, really important, preparing before lecture. Game, which is when you hear the information again during class. And then post-game, which is going over the information after lecture. So it's really, really important to do those 3 things. That way you're able to understand and retain the information in your head. Specifically when it comes down to the hard classes, like I said, pathophysiology, anatomy is definitely one of the big ones, specifically when it came down to my cadaver lab. So I had a cadaver lab for anatomy where we go and we have real human cadavers. And we look at the human cadavers, and all the anatomy that we learn in lecture, we get to see it on a human body, which is amazing. So it's really important to be prepared before you go to cadaver lab, and you know what structures are, where they're located, where the organs are, where the nerves, arteries, veins, etc. Because if you go to cadaver lab and you're looking at everything for the first time, then you're going to get lost and confused. And that was one of the things that I made a goal for myself for the second semester, is to really prepare for anatomy, specifically my cadaver lab, because anatomy has always been my weak point For both semesters, it was one of the classes that I struggled a lot with, and I had to go see my professor sometimes because I struggled with this class. So that's why it's really, really important to prepare before classes, specifically when it comes down to, for example, anatomy, pathophysiology, or pharmacology. If you're sitting in class and your professor is going over all these drugs and you've never heard of them ever in your life, this is the first time you're hearing about them, you're going to be lost, guys. You're going to be really lost. So that's why it's really important to prepare before class. I can't stress that enough. So if you are about to start PA school, I really recommend to prepare for your classes. Or if you are in PA school and you're struggling, prepare for your classes. You're going to see the difference it makes. Also, post-gaming, going over the information after lecture, is just basically a bow over the gift. It wraps everything up, and it's really, really important because it helps you retain the information and helps you understand it better. So once again, pre-game, going over the information before class, game during class, and then post-gaming. So those three things are really, really important in PA school when it comes down to preparing for class. Now, how long do I prepare for each class? It really depends. Sometimes some classes will be about 30 minutes to about an hour. I think the most I spend is 2 hours, and that'll usually be on a subject that's really hard or that I had trouble understanding, because sometimes when I go over this lectures, if there's a certain idea or a certain topic that I just don't understand by reading the PowerPoint, I usually have to go look at additional sources, whether it's the textbook, whether it is YouTube videos, etc. So sometimes that takes me longer. So it really just depends on you if you want to make sure that you understand the information. And then if you don't understand the information when you're preparing before a lecture, then go to class and you're able to now ask the professors what you weren't understanding, and they are able to explain the information better to you. Or even ask your classmates if you're shy, like I'm shy, and don't like to raise your hand in class, and definitely you can ask your classmates. And that's because you've already gone through the information before class. Alright guys, well, as always, thanks for watching my videos. I hope these tips help you out, specifically, like I said, if you're about to start PA school or are in PA school. I really, really recommend this, preparing before lecture. If your professors haven't stressed it enough, which they probably have, definitely make sure that you take this into account, is preparing before lectures. Pre-gaming is the key. Alright guys, as always, thanks for watching my videos. If you like my videos, please give them a thumbs up, or comment below if you have any comments for me, and click that subscribe button if you like all my videos in general. Alright guys, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.